Hello, Labour International. I so miss working internationally, and in the European Parliament every day, Social Democrats said to us, please stay, we want you to remain. What we absolutely have to do is to stop this Tory austerity driven dreadful government actually delivering a hard Brexit, which would mean 12% of the economy of my region, the Northwest, being wiped out in one fell swoop. In terms of all of our thoughts, in terms of carbon emissions, I'm working very closely on this. We are working to a 55% carbon reduction emissions target by 2030, and we absolutely have to reach net zero for the future of our children, our grandchildren, and our planet. It was my privilege in the European Parliament. I've been a party member for 30 years. I had the privilege of being on the National Policy Forum, and also from being a city councillor to become a member of the European Parliament. We continue to work very closely with Social and Democrats across Europe. Delighted to see people from Slovakia and Brussels and various member states and beyond on this call. 15 years is a nonsense. Labour International absolutely has to have equal voting rights right across the structure of the Labour Party, and that indeed includes things like representation and reduced subscription. I've always said this. In terms of open selections, I actually think we should be fighting the Tories where we have got good MPs. We should be putting all of our efforts into unseating the Tories and to winning back seats. In terms of anti-racism, I hope that my track record stands up on this. I'm actually doing, with the Unite Against Fascism, a Refugees Welcome rally tomorrow in Liverpool. Socialists of Colour, I have answered questions very fully on that. I invite you to look at their website. So what drives me? Actually, Labour in government. My dad was made redundant when I was 14. He then got a job when I was 17 and a half. Everybody has got the right to a well-paid job. We need to have creative education for our 3-year-old girls so they can access the high-quality, clean, green jobs of the future. We need Labour International desperately more than ever now, because we are no longer part of the European Parliament. So we need to be building our socialist democratic links right across Europe and indeed internationally in the world. And I'm delighted I nominated Keir, I nominated Angie Rayner. We absolutely have to win. We cannot have more years of austerity. And coming back to the emissions
wind up now, please.
Yeah, just delighted to see you all. And Labour International, we need you now more than ever. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny, and thank you, Li. And if I could very quickly respond to Mandy, I pressed the button too quickly. I do think it's outrageous that people lose their right to vote after 15 years, and I think it's something that we urgently need to address. In terms of independence and safeguarding, I very much agree with what Joanna has said. There has to be an absolute zero tolerance to all types of bullying and harassment and racism. I'm afraid within CLPs in my own region at the moment, we have instances of young people that will actually go out and campaign, but actually don't feel comfortable in CLP meetings, especially young women and actually young black men in my region. And we have to actively work as the NEC to ensure that every meeting, every campaign session is inclusive and that people feel welcome, that we have an independent complaints procedure, as somebody said earlier, that we know what happens from the beginning right until the end of that procedure. You know, during the European elections, I, as many other women standing for election, actually had to be given a police sergeant. You know, we have to, that was about more public stuff, but we absolutely have to have a situation where people know and feel comfortable and welcome, and we have welcome packs for new members, and we have mentoring systems for young people, and that we don't just use young people as kind of voting fodder or to deliver leaflets, but we have events for them, and that we encourage them to get elected. We have a lot of work to do in this area. I want every person to feel welcome in every single Labour Party meeting, and have more all members meetings where we actually discuss policy and internationalism and what our social democratic values are and what they mean to us. In terms of the NPF, National Policy Forum, I have the privilege of being on it for many years, and all I can say is it's got to work better. It's got to be more transparent. Conference is sovereign. We have to know where policy ideas coming from CLPs actually end up. How does it inform Labour Party policy? And I'll give you an example. I had the privilege of leading legislation in the European Parliament on energy poverty. So now, in terms of European law, energy poverty and fighting it is now enshrined in European law. Will it be in UK law post-Brexit? I doubt it, but it absolutely has got to be Labour Party policy. As an MEP, I knew how to feed that in to Labour Party policy structures. Now, as a member, thrilled to be a member, have been for 30 years, there's no obvious structure for me to fill in that body of work that we did as internationalists in the European Parliament. So absolutely agree with everybody that said that what we've got to do is enhance and give a voice to the expertise and skills level of our members, you know, our doctors, our trade unionists, to feed that in to Labour Party policy. Thank you.